Hello, I'm Eridan's Dan Rosenberg of Eridan. Eric's not here tonight because he's going off and doing some family and business and whatever things. He's got a previous engagement, as they say. And hey, I'm getting notifications we're live on YouTube. So if you're watching us on YouTube, give a thumbs up, give a like. Oh, I shouldn't do that because that screws up the camera sometimes. Anyway, welcome to Cinemaniacs. Tonight we're talking about a couple of movies that are Christmas movies. We're in the middle of our long month of double features. And the comments, we have a little private chat that we kind of do offline. And some of the comments about the movies, we're doing two movies tonight called Christmas Perfection and Nutcrackers. I think the titles say it all. I don't know that we need to do much more. I'll actually bring everybody in ahead of time. As Adam Jones says, we'll do it live. We'll do it live. First, we have Brian, our frosted fruitcake.
Yep.
We have Dave, our Christmas perversion. And we have Amanda as Amanda.
Somebody who watched Christmas Perfection.
And I just froze again. Oh, here we go. I keep freezing.
So you had time to finish it?
I did, yes. I only did not watch Nutcrackers, but you intrigued me enough about Christmas Perfection that I had to.
I'm so sorry. No offense. By the way, that's how morning shows typically are. They always have like crazy names like Frosted Fruitcake, Christmas Perversion, and Amanda. That's always how they.
Happy to be the anchor.
They always, the female anchor is always that has the normal name.
Yeah, Freddie and the Bean.
Yeah. And Sarah. Here in Seattle, when Danny Bonaducci had his morning shows, Danny Bonaducci and Sarah in the morning. And it sounded like the way they said it was Danny Bonaducci and Sarah. Like it was three people, like Danny, Bonaducci, and Sarah. These movies were interesting. They definitely qualify as Christmas movies.
Yes.
I don't think we can argue that.
They cannot disagree there.
They're definitely movies.
They are.
My mom did suggest Nutcrackers, and I watched it on her suggestion. And I didn't think it was horrible, but it's like the first 30 seconds, I knew the entire movie.
Yeah, basically, right? Yeah. And the biggest problem, too, with it was we had just watched the best Christmas pageant ever, both the theatrical version and the TV version from 1983. And this is trying to be that and failing. I got some like 70s vibes from it. I don't know if anybody else got that.
70s,
no?
like 70% failure? No.
Like the years. Like it was like the family, like they went and they were part of this commune thing, and then they left it, and they're just like, oh, we're just gonna live on our farm. And even like the titling was really like old style titling in the beginning.
Yeah. And I think Nutcrackers on Rotten Tomatoes sums it up. They say Ben Stiller's sturdy performance gives Nutcrackers some heart, but a cliched story and indifferent execution makes this holiday dramedy about as delightful as, where did it go? Getting socks for Christmas. It froze on me.
Nice.
I mean, it was a well-intentioned movie. You know, it was trying to tell us a sweet story. It just failed to do so.
Well, my mom said her comment was, I thought it was cute. And it was. I mean, it definitely wasn't, stab your eyes out and contemplate, mass suicide. It wasn't that bad, but it was Ben Stiller's done better.
You have Eric's comment, which I don't, but Eric says, how he hates films where the lead characters make no sense and just they're making dumb Ben Stiller's character in this, he's supposed to be a fairly intelligent guy, and he's just utterly clueless about everything. I can understand him being utterly clueless about children and families. Okay, you sort of give him that. but he's utterly clueless apparently about just the law and logic and
logic.
And he changes his mind on a dime.
Yeah, here's what Eric said. This movie made so little sense it kills me. All the logic between him, his job, the kids, having wishing the kids would just go to foster care so Ben Stiller could be back to his life. I don't buy any of these performances as sincere besides the kids, which I truly loathe them through most of the film. Eric's wife suggested maybe the mother-father staged their death just to get away from these brats.
Oh no!
Oh, that's brutal.
That's a harsh. Oh my!
But I mean, it's the fish out of water, having to take over the kids. It's a weird situation. It has been done before.
Oh yeah.
I also think that the best Christmas pageant ever builds up to the Christmas pageant, and the Christmas pageant is sort of the culmination of what came before it. In this, it's trying to build up this performance of the Nutcracker that makes no sense whatsoever, isn't portrayed well on screen because it's cut so weirdly with just these little tiny scenes of them doing a little bit of dancing. So there's really no show to appreciate.
Yeah. It's Ben Stiller signed on to it, and Hulu's like, we got Ben Stiller, we're doing a movie.
Yeah, something like that, right?
He literally could have painted a wall, and we could have watched it dry.
And Linda Cardellini, too. You had a couple of good actors in this, but they just didn't do much with it.
I will say, of the two movies, this one had really good acting, comparatively speaking.
It was, well, this felt like a bad theatrical movie. The other one felt like a bad Hallmark movie.
Which it was. Oh, no, it was Lifetime.
It was Lifetime. It was Lifetime.
In Germany, which was funny, I was looking for, when we get to the other movie, I was looking for the Wikipedia page to get some stats and stuff, and there is no Wikipedia page in the United States for Christmas Perfection. In Germany, there is one because it was on the German Disney Channel.
Nice.
And I sent Eric the link to it, and it's Mein Perfektes Weihnachten.
My Perfect Christmas.
Yes.
Weihnachten. Yes.
Yes. There were Nazis that were upset about this movie. That's how bad this did in Germany.
Well, if we're going to talk a little about Christmas Perfection, the first thing that struck me, other than just, it felt like a Hallmark movie, was so they go to all this stuff to, pick your custom yarns for your sweater, and then the sweater doesn't match the yarn she picks up.
That I did make a note of, that the first one, they never showed the sweaters because she's definitely not wearing them in the next scene.
Yeah.
The first one, she picked up like a white, a green, and a blue, and her sweater was all had half red.
Yes. And then when they go to day 2, there's one scene where suddenly she's back in the day 1 sweater, then back in the day 2 sweater again. They made no attempt at continuity whatsoever.
She likes to change up her sweaters. I don't know.
She went
She keeps
home
spilling hot chocolate on them, so she has to change.
Yeah.
The other problem, I think, is the first. Oh, by the way, if you want to join us, I guess I should have put that on. If you want to join us, you go to eridanlive.com. That's eridanlive.com. But the opening line was literally the setup for the movie. And I hate when people, the writing is so poor that they have to say, "Oh, come on, Brandon." And they say the names, he says her name. She goes, "I wish I could have, this would be a perfect, look at that little neighbor, that little village."
The kid. Yeah.
The 2 kids in the opening scene, they set the whole movie up. Like all the exposition is in the first 10 seconds of the movie. And then you see the lady in the store watching her. And, Then the place is open at 2 a.m.
If you owned a magical town shop, you could be up whenever you want.
And she's like,
it is magical.
She's truly
magical. This place is still open.
And I really felt like when Tom would talk to her in this magical village, he talked to her like Hannibal Lecter's like, "But we always go for a ride, Clarice."
or was it more Garth from Wayne and Garth on Wayne's World?
See, and that's why I didn't hate Christmas Perfection. It's definitely far from the worst movie we've seen, and it's because I loved the absurdity of this weirdly sinister, repetitive. I don't know. I just thought the world building was absurd and very fun.
I think it's fun.
It's
Where
dumb.
magically everyone becomes Irish.
Yes,
yeah,
everyone.
I love how it's
sort of Irish.
Yeah,
Irish.
I think
It's Irish.
There you go.
A little bit of ire.
Some of them were probably, and they were putting on like an American accent before, but then they were trying to put on the Irish accent for the ones that were American.
And I loved the scene where they were showing off that they could also sing like Irish folk dance, and it was just them showing them all from like the chest up, just like bouncing in place, and it went on for so long. It was amazing.
I love it.
So good.
And the fact that a wormhole in space opens up to let you out of the thing.
Yeah,
Yes.
was that because he was ruining the Christmas perfection? So it was like, no, the world is absorbing you away. You are
Not perfect enough, so the world rejected him.
yeah. Because she didn't try to do that to get out herself, so clearly she knew that wasn't an option for her. I don't know. It's intriguing.
Let me try to get into the American Wikipedia because it was not. It does not exist.
I really liked the way she started swearing, and it was all like things like frosted fruitcake and candy cane, and frost
weird.
you snow guy.
It was
great.
weird how like she never tried to swear in the first so many days, even out of excitement, and then in the final few days, she was constantly trying to swear. It's just an interesting like switch flip in her head.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I know it's not like great, but I thought it'd be fun to laugh about with some people. So that's why
I'm glad it was insane, but I'm happy I saw it because it was very fun, insane. I don't know.
Yeah.
It is the worst. It is the worst movie of the two, but it is also probably a little more fun to watch than Nutcrackers is.
Yeah, and I mean the fact that it's a TV movie says a lot. I mean, obviously they pound out how many of those a year.
Oh yeah. Right.
And it had, it's, first time writer, maybe. I hope. I didn't even look it up to see. If
I didn't either. I don't know.
Well, let me see if it shows it in Mind. Let's see. Disney Channel in Germany, writer, director. Oh, it was written by two. It was a female writers for both of it. No page for either of them. The director does not have a page.
The director is very much a TV director. He has directed a ton of TV movies and TV episodes.
Let's see if I can search Google. Oh,
I don't think he has a single theatrical credit on his resume. It's all TV series and TV movies.
If you found your niche, I guess go for it.
I guess. He directed one episode of Smallville, 3 episodes of Charmed, 1 episode of Supernatural.
How about that?
So I can't wait on IMDb. Wait, is this A Perfect or My Perfect?
His most recent credit is a movie.
Just perfect.
All you need to know.
It's perfection.
His most recent credit is apparently a series entitled Dwight in Shining Armor.
Dwight
in Shining Armor. Yes.
All right.
See, in Germany, this is called My Perfect Christmas.
Sure.
Okay. All right.
So so Lauren Hynek and Elizabeth Martin. They wrote Mulan.
How about that?
They wrote the screenplay for Mulan, the film.
Which one?
The original, just the 2020.
Oh, the original. Okay.
They also wrote The Christmas Ball, Boy Eats Girl, A Zombie Love Story. It was a
Boy
short,
Eats Girl.
and Christmas Perfection. And Spellbound. They wrote the story to Spellbound. So they've done a couple animated films. All right, well, they're getting some work.
Here's all you need to know is on IMDb, it has one piece of trivia. Known as the Perfect Christmas Village in the UK.
Perfect Christmas Village.
So it's not gotten a lot of attention.
No.
So this guy, the director has done Dwight in Shining Armor, The Last Christmas Home, Christmas Perfection, Off the Rails, Cup of Love, The Cheerleader Murders. You're right, a bunch of TV movies. The Spirit of Christmas, Bloodlines, Twisted, Promo Life, The Lion Game, The Vampire Diaries. Done a lot of single episodes. CSI New York, he did 3 episodes of. 4 episodes of One Tree Hill. The guy can direct Smallville. Wow.
Yeah. The original Miami Vice. He directed 4 episodes of the original Miami Vice.
Christmas Poopfection. I don't know, Adam. There
has to be a better pun than that.
Yeah.
So does that mean you didn't finish it, Adam?
He didn't finish. No, I think it should have been a cat movie, Christmas Perfection.
Ah.
See? I think that would be a different movie.
It should have been a police procedural. It'd be Christmas Perfection.
Ah. Anytime you use the word perfection in your title and you don't have a perfect movie, you're setting up for Christmas Perfection was anything but. It's like
obviously.
That's why you set up Grid Dance. It's a lot, I'll say.
Exactly. I'll say it's a lot.
Yeah, it does feel like they wanted to make a time loop movie and tried to come up with the flimsiest premise to do it, and it really doesn't actually make sense, which is fun and I don't mind, but it's very like the takeaway being that like she's obsessed about Christmas being perfect and she wants to have like a perfect Christmas. So the takeaway is, well, what if you were infinitely imperfect Christmas? It's like, well, no, that's not her problem. Her problem, like she doesn't say, I wish it were Christmas every day. She wants a perfect Christmas. Yeah. So like the weird witch lady just like makes up her own thing, and apparently somehow the message lands correctly. But like her takeaway from that should be, I want days besides Christmas. Not.
I would be interested in They did an estimate for Groundhog Day based on learning to play the piano and all of this. How many thousands of days he lived that day? I could just see her room with like thousands of necklaces hanging on the wall because she gets one.
Well, and the weird thing about this one, also part of what I thought was really interesting about this one is that it was a time loop where everyone else knew it was a time, because it wasn't a time loop.
Yeah,
they were consecutive days. Yes, It was just a world where everyone was totally cool with being a magical infinite Christmas world. And she was the only person who wasn't into that.
And where if you try to escape the village magically keeps you in.
But then apparently where they're trapped in an infinite Christmas world, but you still give everyone exact duplicate gifts every day, even though you know that you gave it I don't know. It's weird logic.
Because it's the perfect gift. How can you keep on it?
I think it's, those Christmas stores that are open all year round.
Mm-hmm.
This must be what it's like working at one of those. Like every day you go in, it's still Christmas.
But then you can come home and eat things besides turkey.
Oh, that's true.
Then you go out and the only thing on the menu is turkey.
Yes.
Oh, they never like explain how the one like lady is like she's at the shop. She's also the waitress at the bar and a waitress at the other place and everywhere.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Is it because they're action figurines and they only had so many of them?
Maybe. I don't know.
Possibly, yeah.
The one woman though, she was like in like
I didn't
so what you do
notice
is you
that.
go out and you buy a Bane action figure and you put it in the village and then you just watch chaos ensue.
Yes.
Also, I also didn't totally get why like the perfect Christmas meant that her friend was superficial friendship suddenly. Like I don't know why that followed. It's like your friend's now the mayor and she's indifferent to you. Like, I don't know why that's part of a perfect Christmas.
Any more than your perfect Christmas would include a boyfriend that is utterly boring.
Yeah.
He just does everything. It's almost robotic. Yeah.
It's how it is in Ireland. I don't know what to tell you.
Now. Here is your present.
It's a weird statement about like Irish culture that we're just missing.
We went backwards. We started on one movie, jumped into the second movie, and we didn't even finish the first movie.
It's true, we didn't. Yeah.
Back to loop. We're just going to keep discussing the same two movies over and over.
Oh yeah.
Now, going back to Nutcrackers, holiday comedy drama is what they call it. And apparently, was it on Disney Plus and Hulu?
It was on Hulu.
It was on Hulu. If you want Hulu to work on Disney Plus, you have to do.
Right, because they're all ABC.
Yeah.
And we got a 47% tomato meter, and 52% popcorn meter, which is.
I may have rated it a little higher mentally. Again, if I hadn't just seen The Last Christmas Pageant ever, because it's like when you watch a movie that another movie is heavily derivative of, But if it's been a long time since you saw the original, it's like, oh, that was pretty good. If you just saw the original a week before, and you go, oh, this is a really bad remake of that movie. That's what it was like.
Yeah.
And don't they have social, like, aren't there foster homes that are already ready? Like, I don't know how the foster system works, but it seems weird that, like, he has to come take care of them until they get them into foster care.
Well, it also
like
depends
the whole
on
premise.
the state. So, it's,
Right.
It's
it was
Ohio. It's Ohio. So I guess.
Yeah. And the fact that he gets there, apparently, I mean, was there just miscommunication? Or what was, I mean, it was just weird. When he gets there, all of a sudden, you've got to take care of these kids. Bye.
It was just an email, I guess, is how they put it. Yeah.
And
just gets a random email with no information in it, I guess.
Kicklighter? This is the name they come up with? Kicklighter?
Yeah, it was an awkward name.
Justice Jr., Samuel, and Simon. Oh, well.
He's trying to pawn him off on the rich guy. That was weird.
They actually shot this on 35 millimeter film, not in digital. What a waste of money.
And the slow motion golf cart crashing through the nativity was so overdone in slow motion. Just here it comes, because you knew it was going in the pool. You knew that golf cart was going in the pool so far ahead of time.
Adam's looking for the logic. Foster homes are already set up, but sometimes they're full. All right, I get that.
Well, especially if you're trying to place 4 kids at once. Yeah.
Yeah. But nonetheless,
the creepy lady who collects foster kids just to get the money.
Those people, I don't know. It's real.
Oh, that is real.
Yeah,
it's frustrating.
Creepy.
It was the opening. This was the opening film at the 2024 Toronto International Film Festival, and a few days later, Hulu was said to be in final talks to acquire the distribution rights in an 8-figure deal. That's over $10 million.
Yeah.
Right? Is that 8 figures? Yeah, 7 would be. Yeah. So at least $10
right.
million. The film was released on Hulu and Disney Plus internationally on November 29th. That's right, because Hulu is only in the United States. November 29th, 2024. So it had a quick turnaround. I don't think they show the budget because it went. No, they don't.
I question. I just don't even know.
I mean, Ben Stiller is really the reason it did anything. Let's be honest.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you're gonna watch it because you know him. You know, like
yeah. If this movie had the same actors from Christmas Perfection, it might not have been in the Beaver Falls Film Festival.
I mean, the one interesting thing is the 4 kids were played by 4 siblings.
True.
That was interesting.
That makes sense, right? Yeah.
The Jansen kids.
Yep.
Their names are just, or their actual real names are weirder than the character names. Homer, Ulysses, Atlas, and Arlo.
Okay.
No, wait. Is the last name of one of the producers or the executive producer named Jansen? Was this like a? Let's look.
I feel like that would be
in it?
perfect. Yep.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Stars reach in. Let's see if the full cast and crew. Yeah.
Oh, it was filmed in Wilmington, Ohio, and wrapped around January 2024. So this movie was like late 2023, early 2024, and boom, get it done on film. It's so weird they shot this on film.
It also gave me, when they sort of uncovered, because you knew they were going to do this as soon as they said you can take Dad's truck. I went, oh no, not the ice cream truck.
Yeah, I know.
When they went and uncovered the ice cream truck. When they're driving in it, I got a very Dumb and Dumber vibe out of that.
I got you. All right.
It's like, oh my. And putting the ice cream cone in place of the baby Jesus in the nativity. Just some of the scenes were just so silly and made no sense.
All right, I found the connection. The mother of the 4 kids was a film school classmate of David Gordon Green, the director.
Okay. There it is.
There's the Nepo
baby.
The
kids were fine. I mean, they weren't exceptional, but they weren't bad.
There's the Nepo.
There's the Nepo baby.
I mean, it has to. It had to be. So yeah. I don't know. I did laugh sometimes in this though, even though it was slow. Like when the girl kisses him all Spider-Man style and she farts, I laughed. I couldn't help it.
Who doesn't laugh at a fart?
I couldn't, like, he's like, "What was that?" And she's like, "I farted," and she like tries to run away. I'm sorry. I'm laughing now. So yeah.
So you're saying we would have liked Christmas Perfection more if it had more farting in it?
I mean, we could have, right?
Christmas Perfection.
There you go. Yeah, Christmas Perfection Fart 2. The sequel.
Maybe it'll take place in Tallahassee because we're all gassy in Tallahassee.
Okay.
Part 2, they go to Florida. Anyway, so those were our movies. They were our holiday movies from last time.
Yep.
We don't rate movies anymore.
Thankfully.
These would not have gotten the worst ratings ever. I will say that.
No.
They would have from Eric, apparently.
Probably Eric would have, yeah.
He was going hard. Wait, we didn't read what he said about Christmas Perfection.
Oh yeah, let me read what he said about Christmas Perfection. Hold on, let's see.
I'm amazed it would rival Who's That Girl for him. That seems insane.
He said something about like it was worse than Cats when we were reading the.
But he liked Cats. Like that's not a.
Yeah, I know, but
he's one of the defenders of Cats.
Christmas Perfection,
mainly because it has about 30 seconds of Taylor Swift in it. But
I mean,
and
that's
James
what
Corden.
both of these movies could have used, right?
Oh, if Taylor Swift or Debbie Gibson was in either of these, Eric would have been.
Yeah.
These are the best movies ever made. Actually, no, he wouldn't.
Cameo.
The lead is so self-absorbed that she doesn't even take a moment to wonder to think about people in the real world. My entire family thought the best friend, Brandon, was a giant jerk throughout the entire movie. The movie stole from every good movie TV show and still messed it up.
That's true. I also love that it was like a time loop that where time continued to pass in the real world. So she just like wasn't there anymore.
I know. Like nobody
was legitimately gone.
Like nobody was like, oh.
I feel like if Bill Murray came back into the real world at the end of Groundhog Day and
it had been years
passed.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Let's go to
world building decisions in this movie.
Let's go into our little chat here for a second.
Yes.
I always say save it for the show. But on Facebook, sometimes we get into a couple of things here. Boy, this goes.
We have people who weren't going to be there. So
There's nothing better than turning on my phone and seeing 99 missed messages. I'm like, oh, did one of my videos go viral? Why do I have all these notifications on Facebook? No, it's all Cinemaniacs chatting with each other.
Happy to help.
Adam's going to message me his movie pick. He's doing some Christmas stuff, but he will be live in person next week. Eric's been sharing a lot of weird AI things, which I actually will pull one of those up, the one from this, because I think it's pretty funny.
That was nuts. I don't know how. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sign up for that AI thing yet because the hands are stupid in it. So.
Let's see, where did it go? Yeah, Eric's taking pictures and using Firefly, which is through Adobe. They have a thing where you can turn a picture into like a little video, and you can tell things to happen, like you can describe.
Yeah.
And he took the movie poster. It's here somewhere. Scrolling. No.
So many messages.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
They're literally, you guys have had, if I read all these messages, it would be longer than the show.
It might. We go hard, don't we? Yeah.
All right.
It's great.
Oh, wow. It actually makes it really big.
I don't know. Oh, man. It's creepy.
Here we go. So you take the three leads that are in the movie poster. Are you ready? And I don't know what Eric told it to do. I think he said, you've got people and they love each other. They're going to kiss. Here we go. Here it goes. And oh. I don't know what the words are up there. Apparently it couldn't come up with the words. It looks like it almost says vasectomy.
It almost looks like the guys are going for each other and she's in the way.
Oh, that could be it. And the hands actually aren't that bad on this one. Look at the hand.
I guess
the hand right here is pretty good.
How about that?
Yeah.
Like in Firefly, like just the regular 2D, the hands are awful.
Oh yeah, they are going to go kiss each other. You're right.
It also looks like she's taking her pulse.
Oh yeah, she's like, oh, let's see what's happening.
Am I still alive?
I am still alive. This is not my Christmas village.
All right, here I'll play Eric. Okay, you want to see weird?
That's how this goes here.
Oh boy, this is weird. I don't know. Is he chewing tobacco for a second?
A little bit.
Ugh. All right.
Yeah, it's
weird stuff. Anyway,
man.
so those are our movies. They were wonderful, if nothing but wasting time. So, would anybody recommend watching these? Like, recommend to a friend to watch these again?
I mean,
you would.
If you want silly dumb, I think Christmas Perfection is a fun, silly dumb movie. I don't know. I would watch it again for that. I think it's very fun to laugh at.
I'm hoping to Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind both of these out of my brain.
Have we watched that on here?
We have not.
No.
Oh, I don't know if I want to suggest it because that one's kind of sad, you know, like.
Oh boy.
But I think that's worth watching for people, definitely.
So Adam has to pick next week's movie, and I think Dave, right?
That's right.
And we don't know what yours is yet, or did you put it on the list?
I have not denounced mine yet.
Denounced. All right. I'm going to move you to the top. There you go. I'm going to give you Dave.
Okay, after much
what is your movie?
I came down to one more or less modern movie and a bunch of old black and white films. And I finally decided to go the more modern route just because I don't know, I think it'll be with more or less universal enjoyment. We'll see. Which is from 2015.
All right.
Seth Rogen.
Okay.
The Night Before.
The Night Before. I don't think I've seen that.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Seth Rogen.
It's a fun movie. Yeah.
Michael Shannon.
What platform is that available on?
It is for rent. I think it's $4 on Amazon. It's not free on any platform. I do not believe. I couldn't. The trouble is, the ones I was looking for, I couldn't find any that were free, unless you went to YouTube. And I hate watching movies on YouTube. So this was the best I could do.
The Night Before. All right, that's our first movie for next week. I'll pull up the little image. I didn't make one, but I'll do what Eric does. Share screen. Here we go. The Night Before. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Seth Rogen, and Anthony Mackie. So they've got Christmas sweaters and beards and hair and glasses. Okay.
I don't know if I know this.
I thought when you first said it, I was like, "Oh yeah," and I'm like, "Oh no." It says three best friends, one epic party.
It's a little over the top in some ways. I don't think Stacy would enjoy it, for example, but she doesn't typically join anymore anyway. So,
let's see who else is in this. Mindy Kaling is in it. That's about it.
Michael Shannon.
Michael Shannon. Had a $25 to $33 million budget. They're not sure exactly. And it did $52.4 million in the box. It's only 101 minutes. Distributed by Sony and written by Evan Goldberg, who is lifelong friends with Seth Rogen. So Seth did not write it, but his buddy did. And three other guys. Ironically, a lot of Jewish people wrote this. Levine, Hunter, Shafir, and Goldberg wrote this fine
sounds like a
Christmas
law
movie.
firm.
It does. And Jonathan Levine is also the director. And he's a Levine, not a Levine, in case anybody was curious. Adam, I don't think. Let me look into where. I don't have Facebook open again. Let me reopen Facebook.
Yeah, Adams is in the chat.
Oh, he did put it in the chat. I thought he was going to message me directly. Oh, here it is. All right. Violent Night. David Harbour. There we go. Here, typing. We're looking for it. Violent Night. Holy night. I heard good things about this movie. I have not seen it.
I haven't either.
This one.
Eric said he didn't hate it.
This one is available. Looks like Hulu, Amazon Prime, YouTube TV. Depends on your subscription level. Stars, the Roku channel, Sling TV. We're looking at David Harbour, Alex Hassel, John Leguizamo, and a bunch of other people. Beverly D'Angelo's in it. That's exciting. All right. Well, we have our next two movies. We have our assignments. Violent Night. Holy Night. Well, I guess do we have that little thing, or I don't even know if we have a. Oh yeah, here it is. I guess we'll move on to this. It is weird that that's longer than our opening.
Weird that it only plays in one earphone.
I know, and it's all on the left.
Yeah, well, for me it's right because I wear mine backwards, but it's all good.
So just turn around and face your chair.
Yeah, yep, I could do that.
Oh yeah, you're right. It's on the right side now. I'm going to start off by saying thank you again, Brian, for recommending Continuum.
Yeah. Did you make it all the way through?
No, I'm still in season 3.
I finished it. It's so good.
If you ever go to Vancouver, you can go to some of those buildings because they're all there. What's amazing is how much of it, and this was from 2012 through 15, I think, how much of it really relates to today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Corporations are getting too big and taking over the world, and
billionaires trying to rule everything.
Trying to run everything. It is really scary. Some of the technology, like the wristband thing. I mean, I'm wearing a ring that has it tells my blood pressure and that exists already.
Yep.
So that's all I'll say. I recommend it highly if you haven't watched it yet.
Absolutely.
Continuum.
It's solid all the way through. Like usually shows don't do that. Like I like it. That's amazing.
Canadians know how to make a show. I think I'm going to do Travelers again next. Have you watched Travelers?
All right. I have not yet.
I recommend Travelers, another show that filmed in Vancouver. A lot of the same actors are actually in it.
Oh, cool. All right.
A few of the actors.
Yeah, one of the actors towards the end was in Sanctuary, which I recommended once. But Sanctuary doesn't have a good completion, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Kind of just falls off.
I like when a show completes.
Right? Like this one, it wasn't I mean, I don't want to spoil nothing, but it wasn't oh, everything is perfect, but it was I like that ending. That's perfect. Yeah. You know?
Yeah. Right. Dave, Amanda, anything to recommend?
I don't know if recommend is the word, but if the most recent dumb Christmas movie I watched before Christmas Perfection was one of the movies available on Delta Airlines in-flight movies is a movie called A Sudden Case of Christmas, which I watched the first half of on the flight there and the second half of on the flight back. And it's pretty dumb, but it was dumb silly for a lot of it. It stars Danny DeVito as the guy, someone who runs a hotel, and in Italy, and his granddaughter who finds out, and her parents bring her to her grandpa's hotel in the summer because they think that he should tell them that they're getting divorced because they don't want to tell their daughter that they're getting divorced. So they're saying, "Hey, Grandpa, you tell her." And she gets very upset about this, obviously, and demands that they have one final Christmas together in the middle of summer. So they call her other grandparents to come travel there, and like there's a sudden case of Christmas in like the middle of August.
Nice.
It's not amazing, and there's some really weird contrivances of like the one night stand of her grandfather is there and he's like hiding from her half the movie. It's very strange, but it was a good dumb fun to watch on an airplane.
Awesome.
There you go. So if you're flying, I'm sure it's available elsewhere, but if not,
only on Delta exclusive.
Yes, Delta exclusive.
Delta bid high for that.
Get your plane ticket. It's one of those movies that was so bad I walked out, and I was on an airplane.
Oh,
it's one of those old jokes. Dave, anything to recommend?
I will say the new movie version of The Best Christmas Pageant Ever is worth watching. If it's a story you like, the 1983 version is on YouTube, and it's only like 42 minutes or something like that. It's quite short. And I think in some ways I prefer that one, but the movie version is probably about as good. They have different strengths and weaknesses. They obviously padded the movie version a little bit because they had to fill more time, but it didn't feel obviously padded. Good casting with Judy Greer and Pete Holmes as the parents. The kids were well cast. It was enjoyable.
All right.
I think it's out of theaters now, so you might have to figure out where it's streaming, but worth watching.
All right. Adam says there's a pretty good documentary on Max called Yacht Rock. I'm guessing it's about Christopher Cross.
Jimmy Buffett.
Sailing, wasn't that the song that started the Yacht Rock phenomenon?
What about I'm Your Captain?
Maybe. Brian, you didn't give a new recommendation because I was going off of your...
Right. Oh, yeah. I watched a lot, so I don't know if I can just give one. It's like there's one on Netflix that's really good right now called Carry On, but I think people already know about that one because it's like...
Well, that's... I have not watched it yet. Jason Bateman, I hear, is really good in that.
Yeah, it's decent. He's decent. But I'm trying to think of like what else was I watching that... Because I watch TV shows a lot. Oh, I found one that I completely escaped me. It's called Grimm. If you've ever heard of that. I had never heard of it. I just turned it on the other day. I was like, this is pretty great. Basically kind of like a cop drama horror sort of thing. Monsters are killing people and they're homicide detectives. So
Kolchak, the Night Stalker.
So the Yacht Rock documentary, by the way, it says a documentary. They capitalized doc. This groove-infused documentary explores how a breezy music subgenre became cool decades later and will get you dancing.
Wow.
And they do have a really cool logo.
It'll get you dancing, but only from the waist up.
True.
Bouncing like...
This is proper. Yeah, you just got...
That is kind of a cool graphic that they designed there.
Yeah, that's cute.
All right. Yeah.
It's like an album, the sun and water. All right. Well, I mean, we said the show could be very short tonight.
Yes.
With Eric missing and Scott wasn't able to join us. I'm not sure why. I haven't talked to Scott today.
He may have just not had time to watch the movies. So
that's possible.
Poor Scott.
Poor Scott. Yeah. He missed so much.
Right?
No, my mom does say she might have really liked the Nutcrackers because she learned to dance some of the dances to the Nutcracker when she was in dancing school as a child. So anything Nutcracker related, she tends to lean into it.
Well, I mean, I like the one that Scott suggested to me last Christmas, the Macaulay Culkin one, but I don't like the one on Disney Plus. the newer one that's all animated.
Newer one?
Yeah. I like the Macaulay Culkin one, though. That one's really good.
Yeah. All right.
Well, we got Christmas coming up on Wednesday. Hanukkah starts on Thursday.
Wednesday night, Hanukkah starts, actually.
Yep, after sunset. Yep.
After sunset. So we've got a very Christmas Hanukkah this year, or very Hanukkah Christmas. So Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and whatever else you celebrate.
To relate a story from a guy I used to work with who was a really bright guy, but he's one of these guys that was really bright, but really had massive holes in his knowledge. I don't know. It's like he grew up in a cave sometimes. He thought birds were mammals, for example. We had a Jewish gentleman who worked with us, and he was asked. He said, "Oh, so when is Hanukkah this year?" And he goes, "Oh, it actually overlaps with Thanksgiving this year. This was the year it came very early."
Yeah.
And he said, "Oh, do you have both turkey and ham?" No, not really.
This one guy, when I was working at the cafeteria, he was a football player. He was just like, I'm not allowed to eat ham because I had ham, just hotel pans of ham all over because it was one of those meals. It's really stressful. He comes up to me, he's like, I'm not allowed to eat ham. I'm like, oh, okay. And he's like, yeah, it's against my religion. I'm like, what religion are you? He's like, Christian.
Well, okay. In theory, the reason Jews don't eat it's because it's in the Bible.
You also
what'd you say? I missed it. Sorry.
I said you also stone adulterers. If you're gonna strictly follow. We did see there's a book. There was the book that came out. I don't know, maybe about 10 or so years ago, The Year of Living Biblically, where the guy tried to follow as best he could in a modern world every law and rule that was in both the Old and New Testament of the Bible. Including shunning his wife during her period and all the whole gamut of it. And it was really quite interesting. And it looks like there's a woman now who's put out a similar book. So
one thing I want to share, Adam says, if you watched our Caryata, I played this on Caryata, and I'm going to play it again. This is Smokey Robinson wishing us
Smokey. Yeah.
Wishing us a happy Hanukkah.
Hey, Marco, how you doing? Surprise, surprise. This is Smokey Robinson. I know you didn't expect to hear from me, but I was contacted by your sons, Jeff and Jared, and they told me that you used to live in Detroit across the street from me. And gosh, that's beautiful. How you doing again? Nice talking to you again, I guess. But anyway,
here we go.
You're living in Vancouver now. And they wanted me to wish you happy Chanukah. I have no idea what Chanukah is, but happy Chanukah because they said so. Anyway, God bless you, babe, and enjoy Chanukah. Have a wonderful time.
Enjoy Chanukah, everybody.
Oh,
happy Chanukah.
That hurt. Oh, I'm sorry. That hurts.
Yeah.
Pardon me, boy. Is that the Chattanooga?
And like I said before, his agent and manager, I'm sure, were Jewish. I'm sure he's wished many people happy Hanukkah.
He's also got to be in his 80s.
But he just, the CH spelling, I don't know why we have three. Basically, we've decided, the Jewish people, that you can't spell Hanukkah wrong. I think that's what it is. You can spell it however you want to spell it.
You can pronounce it wrong, but you can't spell it wrong.
Right. Oh, yes. It can be Hanukkah, Hannukkah.
You got to have more of the
Hanukkah. Yeah. So happy Chanukah. Murray Christmas to you all. Christmas. We'll be back before the new year.
Happy New White Year.
We'll be back before the new year, so we can say, we'll say Happy New Year next time. So we have two movies. Our assignment is we're going to watch Violent Night and The Night Before. Both movies have the word night in them.
Yes.
And they came out 7 years apart. And then, of course, the double feature coming up. If you want to get started now, The Pirate Movie and Zorro the Gay Blade, both available on YouTube in their entirety from 81 and 82. Car Yada Saturday. It looks like we are going to do a Car Yada Saturday. We never really know until the last minute. But Rafi and I are discussing some other things, some other ideas of what we might do with Car Yada. Of maybe do a pre-recorded type thing or live, and anyway, maybe a little bit of both. Anything else, anybody? Anyone? Bueller? Oh, I have a comedy special out. Go to danrosenberg.com. I thought I'd plug that. All right, that's it. Bye, everybody.
Till next time.